Hello everyone. So today someone actually asked me this amazing question and that question was a bit tricky or a bit difficult to answer, but it took me literally half a second to answer that question because I already knew the answer. So the question was, and that question was actually for me, not really like a general Jira Atlassian question. So the question was that Ravi, would you pick Jira in 2022 if you had, let us say, absolutely no previous experience or background of using a tool like Jira? And my answer was no. And let me give you some background and why I'm saying no. No, I started using Jira in 2007, and I started using Jira not because I wanted to become a consultant or I wanted to uh, maybe use it for solving a problem. I started using Jira because I was asked to use Jira. And just to give you my honest, you know, honest opinion or what I feel, I'm an open source guy and I have been using Linux. I truly believe in open source. I have been using Linux for 20-ish years now. I have always used for my own personal needs uh, open source software. For example, I use Arch Linux. I was using Fedora. I started using Arch Linux 2 years back, and I used to provide services. In fact, services on Linux. That was long time back, and I used to set up Linux servers for other companies, and it was wonderful. I mean, to it's a good feeling that not just a feeling, but it is really amazing that when you really believe in something and when you're also able to make it your career, I mean, you're able to earn money from it. So I've done a lot of things with open source. Apart from, of course, using Linux in general, I was also doing a lot of Drupal development. So Drupal is also open source, and when you're involved in open source, you actually play with a lot of different tools. And when I was doing this, you know, when I was basically providing services to other companies, clients, I quickly realized that I need a tool to basically work on different activities. I need a tool to plan my work. And long back, I think if I go back 20 years from now, when I was in the third year of my college, or maybe I believe, I guess, sixth semester, in the sixth semester, you basically need to build a project. It was, I think, that, I mean, I've been doing freelancing since 1999, like doing small projects, creating some C++ programs for other people. But then I started learning, or basically, I started using Visual Basic and building Visual Basic based applications. And it was in 2002 when I was doing my internship, when I was doing my engineering, when I got a chance to work for a pharmaceutical company and I built one tool for them. And I think it was in 2002 when I mean, I was doing freelancing for 3 years, but it was in 2002 when I started, providing services. And I believe around 2005 to 2006, I was, not massively uh, happy with the way I was managing my projects or planning my work because I was using, you know, nothing. I mean, I was of course using maybe text-based file-based, lists that I was maintaining somewhere, or maybe emails. So I was not really using any tool for managing my own work because it was not massively important that time. But I think uh, till I think after doing it for a while, around 2005 or 6, I started building something on my own issue tracker project management solution. And around that time, 2005, 6-ish, I was also playing with a lot of open source based tools for managing work. And I believe Bugzilla, I think Track was still there, Dot Project. So there were like some open source projects for doing project management or basically maintaining your own list of activities. And I think I started using Dot Project because I liked it, and I think there was also one more. I forgot the name where you can actually create some Gantt chart kind of a view. Because I was also at the same time working for a corporate where I was responsible for because I did a lot of work with these project management open source based tools. I was very much interested in project management, and I think it was actually one of my key area of interest. And I got a chance to work for a very big telecom company, a corporate, very big enterprise company, where I was actually responsible for basically MS Project uh, server, and also at the same time, I was also part of a team where I was doing, project coordination. I was involved in building reports using Excel-based tools. So I have done a lot of work in this area, like earned value management and doing some statistics around the quality of the project deliverables. And I was very much invested in this whole project management area. And then someone asked me, okay, Ravi, we now want to use this new cheap tool called Jira. And I had absolutely no idea about Jira. I never really heard of it. I think that was in 2007, maybe early 2007 or late. I don't really remember when, but it was definitely in 2007 when I first uh, played with Jira, and I didn't like it. But but after I spent some time with it, after I actually used it because I had to basically uh, roll out Jira in that company for different teams. So the different teams used to send me, okay, this is the list of our test cases, this is a list of our issues or bugs. We want to use Jira, and can you please import it? So I used to do a lot of CSV imports. I also used to do these imports using SOAP. There was something called SOAP back then. I mean, we still have SOAP, but Jira uses REST API now. So I used to I did use Jira for helping others. Basically, I was doing Jira admin work or helping others move to Jira because Jira was and it is still cheap as compared to those legacy-based tools, DCT, rational-based tools, right? I'm sure you know about it. So I was asked to use Jira, and initially I didn't like it, but when I played with it, I realized that as compared to my previous knowledge or previous experience of working on open source based tools where you can customize things, but not really each and everything. I mean, it was not easy to customize each and every aspect of those open source based tools. And I also did a lot of work in building my own project management based tool using nothing but Excel. So I built one tool that actually used to combine each and everything from different project managers and give a consolidated view of what is happening in a project. Now, when I started using Jira, and it was around that time when I was also responsible for maintaining MS Project Server, right? So you can imagine I had a lot of experience not only using these tools for project management for my own personal needs, but also when I was working for this corporate, I was also doing a lot of work because I was supporting these tools. And when I started using Jira, of course, I missed few things because Jira back then, I think it was Jira 4 or yeah, I think definitely 4. Uh, it had all those features that we still have, but it was only Jira on-prem. So I remember I set up Jira on my own local laptop, then I moved it to a server, like the actual server. You go to a server room, the whole floor was basically full of servers, and I had my own small, rack. It was wonderful uh, with its own database, and it was basically, my own server. I had access to the database, I had access to the file system, and I was able to do a lot of wonderful things. And then I realized that yes, Jira is not bad, and then I started liking it, and then I started loving it because Jira around that time, 2007, 8, 9, 10-ish. I think it was gaining a lot of popularity. And because I was able to do a lot of things easily, because it was on-prem, and I was able to basically I learned it not just in a couple of months or weeks, but I learned it over the years uh, when I basically helped a lot of people move to Jira. So I was not just a Jira admin; I was also like a Jira evangelist in that organization where I used to work, and then I thought, okay, I know Jira quite well. Now maybe I can, because I was anyways doing this side work of mine where I was doing Drupal consultancy, and I thought, okay, I should also maybe try to do Jira consultation because I can probably help other companies. And around that time, I think 2012, 13-ish, when a lot of people, a lot of organizations in India, they were also uh, moving to Jira because Jira was definitely very cheap as compared to those legacy-based tools. And and of course, I did a lot of Jira consolidation. I was fortunate I got the opportunity and chance to help other organizations. And then I realized, okay, I should probably focus a bit more on Jira consolidation than Drupal development. And I used to do a lot of Jira trainings because I knew the tool really well because I did so many things with Jira. I was quite good at it. And it was not just about the tool knowledge, but it is also, when you spend a lot of time rolling out a tool for different teams and solving their problems with uh, a tool like Jira, where you can customize a lot of things. It's a bit modular. You can customize the workflow, and I think I quite like the concept of these schemes and the way you can reuse these schemes, the way you can create like a standard set of schemes for different teams. And to be honest, even till this, that is the key thing. That is basically the main thing. But now, if so, I've given you my background. Yeah, it has been 12 minutes, a bit long video, but I think it is important. So now, if I compare all this with someone who is new to, let us say, Jira, um, imagine going to the Jira. I mean, whatever I was able to do 15 years back, 13 years back, 15 or 16 years back, I can still do that even right now because we still have Jira Data Center, but we also have Jira Cloud, right? Which is not bad. I'm not really against the idea of cloud because I guess that is a need. That is probably the direction. And I guess, as I mentioned in my like in color in my recent videos, most likely Jira Data Center will probably fade away. But imagine someone who is just starting to do wonderful things with a tool like Jira, then that person will probably start the Jira Cloud, and it's not the same. And if you compare Jira Cloud with other tools, we have plenty of other tools, right? Because I think there is always like I think each tool. Uh, I mean, it might not be true for each and every tool, but I think uh, these days we do have other options and good options. I mean, we do have, you know, because if you are, let's say, thinking of using a tool, any tool for software development, right? Because that is, I think, one of the main selling point, or that was the main selling point of Jira. Jira was built for development. Now we have, of course, now GitLab, we have GitHub, we have, I mean, we can do issue tracking, right? And you also have, Azure. You also have a lot of other tools where you can cloud-based tools where you can basically start doing not only development, but it will also help you with your DevOps pipeline. I mean, of course, Jira can also be integrated with other tools, but now if someone has to evaluate a tool, they have other options. And when it comes to my own personal, you know, um, for example, if someone is asking me, Ravi, would you still build your career in Jira? I think that is the key because if you are maybe trying to become a marketplace reseller or maybe an app developer or maybe a consultant or maybe if you want to use Jira for your own needs, I think now you have a lot of options. And in 2022 or 2023, if I have to pick a tool, I might try Jira because it is popular. Because whenever you search something, there is always something happening, right? In this Jira ecosystem, Atlassian ecosystem, but there are other ecosystems. And if I have to become a consultant of a tool, Uh, I'll probably use GitLab because GitLab is definitely doing a lot of work, or maybe any other tool. Maybe I'll just focus on Amazon. Why not? Because Amazon has grown massively, and you can do a lot of wonderful things if you have to maybe become a consultant. If you have to maybe roll out a tool, let us say I'm a CTO of a company. In that case, I am driven by the cost or maybe the features it will provide. If I am working in a procurement team, then I'm also driven by not only cost but also a lot of other things like security concerns, data residency, and all those things. But the point is that depending upon what you want to do with the tool, or what is your intention, what are you looking for, you have plenty of other options. And I still like Jira. I still love working on it. That is what I do. That is what I have been doing for many years, and I think I'm very much invested. And my my uh, channel is all about being honest. So I'm not really a marketplace vendor. I am not really going to be biased about my opinion. I like Jira. It's a great tool. I like a couple of other Atlassian tools. I like some of the apps, but I'm not really going to be always positive about each and everything that Atlassian is doing with uh, with their direction, with their focus, like their cloud first focus, because it is a bit annoying to be honest when we have to do things on cloud, especially as a consultant, because when I do consultation for my clients, they of course ask me a lot of things, they challenge me, and I feel a bit frustrated that yeah, we could have done it, but not on Jira Cloud, definitely on Jira Data Center, because on Jira Data Center, um, even after following a lot of the best practices, because you can always mess up your Jira instance, you can always do extreme customizations, but the level of things that you can achieve, because my focus is always on automation and customizing the tool the way you want it to be, without of course messing up. But when you're using Jira Cloud, you have to basically change your approach. You have to basically tell people that no, you can really do it in Jira, but maybe you can change the way you work. So that is what Jira Cloud forces you. I mean, it won't really let you do all those wonderful things that you can definitely do easily on Jira Data Center. And hopefully, I mean, my only hope is that if we get a lot of new features on Jira Data Center, that is not really the case. Jira Data Center or Jira Server version, on-prem version, uh, whenever you look at a new version or a new release, Jira 9 point something, whatever, it's mostly, small improvements here and there, maybe some security or maybe some bug fixes, but not really significant features. Because I personally think Jira Work Management is good, and I think Jira Work Management should be there on Jira on-prem version, because it has nice features, and also at the same time, I think Jira Cloud and Jira Data Center. I know Jira Data Center is on-prem, but still, I think there should be, because I know they are totally different tools now, and which is something a bit annoying. Because if I'm doing something as a consultant for my clients, or if I'm, let's say, building a training course, it is totally I mean, not totally different, but it is definitely different. So if someone is asking me, about, okay, Ravi, we want to do this, can you please help us? My first question is, okay, are you on Jira Cloud or Jira on-prem? If they are on cloud, then things are usually different. For example, if I'm doing some script on a consultation, if I'm writing a script, or if someone is asking me to build some automation, the way you approach it is totally different on Jira Data Center and Jira Cloud. Even with the apps are usually the way they work. The behavior is different. The features are usually a bit different and usually less on Jira Cloud, and that is definitely not a nice thing, at least for someone who is helping others, because we have to face the customers. We have to basically tell them that you are now moving to cloud, you're now moving to Jira Cloud, but this feature will not really work, or this particular app is no longer there on Jira Cloud, or you can't really do this automation. So I think or if I have to give you my honest opinion, I don't really think Jira would be my top choice as a tool if I have to if I have to pick a tool for doing purely for doing consultation or as a consultant, because I have other options that I can probably you know choose. So maybe, I mean, this is something that I considered. I considered maybe also learning or moving to a different tool altogether. It is not really easy for me because I'm totally invested in Atlassian tools, but you never really know, right? I mean, I'm not really an Atlassian employee, and I'm also certainly not working for a marketplace vendor. I'm an independent consultant, and I run my own independent Atlassian consultancy company. But I'm actually thinking that maybe I should look for one more tool or maybe a couple of other tools where I can probably just just explore. Maybe GitLab. I think GitLab definitely looks interesting, or maybe Slack because it is still a bit under, not directly under, but Slack is the recommended tool from Atlassian as well for collaboration. So I'm actually thinking that maybe I should learn a new skill. If you have any recommendations for me, do let me know. I mean, I hope I'll still stay in Atlassian ecosystem for few years, maybe forever. I don't know, but it seems like if Atlassian decides to shut down at Jira data center, then it will be a problem for me because majority of the things that I do, they are on Jira data center. All right, that is it. Long video, 21 minutes, 22 minutes, but hopefully I've given you some ideas. Hopefully, I've given you thing to something to think about. All right, that is it. Bye bye.